Welcome back to K&L Farms. I'm Ken. I hope this video finds you well. And one thing I've tried to promote on my channel is to be more self-sufficient and then attempt to expand your skill level. And because if they go down to a grid down situation, it's not the time to be attempting to learn. It's the time to start applying some of the knowledge that you've got. And what I was going to do is, you see behind me, a Christmas present. It's just a simple truck, just a simple semi truck. You got the truck cab, you got the trailer. Trailer goes here, set of axles, blocks, Christmas present. But it's going to be very surprising to you how I illustrate we got to this point. This is just a piece of simple pine, and you might think to yourself, well, just go down to the hardware store and buy some pine. We're going to go over how I got to this piece of pine, and this piece of pine turned into this truck, or our Christmas presents that we're making right now. And the first thing involved in that is going to be surprising to you, but we're going to go get a log right here. Okay, now we're going to actually take that log and we're going to put it on the sawmill and saw up some boards, and then we'll bring the boards into the shop. Now if I can get that log on there without dropping it on the table. Okay, once you get back from the sawmill, then you go into the after that it's just basically the same thing as if you bought a board. You plane it down, both sides, join the edges a little bit, and start cutting out your pattern. But that's, I know it's much more difficult, but at least I have the skill level that if I ever need a board, the other thing I was going to tell you in just a minute, but if I need a board, I can make a board off my place. Now, the other thing is, you'll see when I load it on the sawmill, how that log is actually short. Say you go out to and you've seen it, go out to the log yard, and you get permission somehow. You either buy permission to get the logs, or you just can't go start cutting up all the trees. But anyway, you get permission to get the log, and all you got there is a truck and a chainsaw. You got to get that log into the truck, and you don't have any equipment with it, so you cut it random lengths. So whatever, so let's say the log diameter, in that case I think the log diameter was maybe 10 inches around and 5 feet long, and that's about all I can lift. So say you went and you've had a 14 inch diameter log, and you want that log, it's a certain species you're looking for. It's an oak or a fir, or a pine is usually lighter, but you take and cut it down to whatever length you want, so that you can actually load it in the truck. And the length of these are all random. Like I think that one's actually, I know that one's got a chainsaw mark on it. Chainsaw mark, and it's not straight at all, so that the other thing you got to do is make sure that you cut this off to be square on both ends, or cut one end off square and then go to your length, whatever length you're going to go to. The other thing I was going to show you or illustrate is we're standing in my wood shop right now, and when it starts out, you'll see here in just a minute, it's not a wood shop. It hasn't been a wood shop like this for maybe 3 weeks. I had to get this done in order to get the wood in here, in order to get the Christmas presents going. But I'll show you some of that footage right here. And the reason this is 5/8 thick is that we had this left over from another project. I had forgotten about it. It was actually in the back of a barn, and my son-in-law told me, well, utilize this stuff. Now we're going to put 7/16 and normally this would be a piece of 7/16, also a thin material, but I had this left over and I didn't want it to go to waste. But I own some 7/16 that for this project. It's here in the garage, and I'll use this lift to get it up because I can't pick this up. I can't pick this up, and I wouldn't be able to, no longer be able to put a piece of 7/16 up on the roof. A little bit I'll move you up, but I'm still trying to continue putting some OSB. Got some insulation on the wall. I'll put a piece of OSB on. I'm trying to get, if I move that piece up and install that piece, then I could put a curtain in behind you. But I'll move you up here just a little bit. You can see the workbench. Seems chaotic a little bit, but this is the bench. I'll theme the bench and this tool organizer, which we just got. It's on the cleats like we talked about, French cleats, and I'll put that down in the description. We have been successful. Remember, I was in a hurry to try and get some of this completed. We have done some Christmas projects. This is going to be a little semi-truck. The trailer, we built a couple of jewelry boxes already. They're in the house drying. We got to paint, and because it's cold out here. This morning when I got up this morning, it was 21 degrees. That's why I'm trying to get some of the insulation. So let me see if I can get that piece of OSB up there in that corner, and I'll show you a trick that I use. I'm going to put a nail in it. And then I'll try and, I got to square it off a little bit more. Okay, so that gives you kind of an explanation how I got to, number one, make these boards, or these, make these toys for grandkids, actually, and I'm proud of the fact that that these came from logs all the way to here. The other thing is that the wood shop made the wood shop enough. I'm not done with it, but because I ran out of material, and it's Thanksgiving weekend, and on that note, I hope that everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving and was well as much as I did, but I'm out of material to keep the construction going. So, and there's no way I'm going to town on Thanksgiving weekend because it just gets crazy, but I needed some more insulation and some more OSB, and it was just a long way around the barn, but I think you need to actually utilize some of your skills to keep them toned, and then if things go bad, off-grid type situation, then you'll have the experience of actually doing it. That was number one. Number two is I think people have gotten considerably soft, and they no longer practice any of these, and a lot of these skills I got from my grandparents, so it's good to keep up with them. But for people getting soft, what I mean is Uber Eats and all of that other thing, every chance you get, you hit the easy button, and I think that's kind of becoming a problem these days.